do we need to reserve a few minutes for you to give a farewell speech?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
I'm just asking if you want one.
I ain't want this.
You're okay?
Thank you, though, for the kind offer.
You're so welcome.
Yeah, Sean will be.
No, I'll get
Pass
rid
your
of it.
coat here and.
I had it back here so no one can see.
Okay.
In the crowd, you can be over there.
Enter your meeting ID followed by pound.
Microphones too.
Enter your participant ID followed by pound. Otherwise, just press pound to continue. You are in the meeting now. You are the first participant. Please stand by. You are muted. You can mute or unmute yourself by pressing star 6.
I have no idea what that did. I just pushed a button. I think this button up here needs a piece of tape over it because I'm just like, just so tempted. I assume if you hold the button down, you're muted.
Test.
Can hear you.
Oh, Sean's
there
in San
he is.
Francisco. God darn it.
Yeah, just calling from my vacation spot in San Francisco.
Your vacation home, or is this a rental?
Yeah, my fake rental. If you like, I can change it to my fake rental in outer space.
There you go.
Just so that you know, Sean can hear you directly through these microphones now. You speak into the microphone, it'll be loud and clear to him. Perfect.
So he's going to look directly at us throughout the
Why
entire.
is he froze though?
Because he's in outer space, perhaps. Perhaps that's it.
Seconds to get
I'm
up
back
there.
in San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
No, I got a new Zoom device for work, and it's super slick. It's high def, but it's also like a lot wider range. And so it shows the like my other Zoom device would like hide my bed in the office bedroom I'm in, and this doesn't. So virtual,
Are we ready?
virtual.
I think so.
Yeah.
Just make sure everyone's microphones are.
What did he say? In front of you?
Make sure
Microphones?
your microphones or something.
We all have two apiece, I think.
Oh, yeah.
One's directly to ABC, CNN.
Host would like you to unmute your microphone. You can press *6 to unmute.
Good afternoon. I'll call to order the meeting of the New Ulm Public Utilities Commission for December 2020. First item on the agenda is to receive public notice that the meeting will be conducted via teleconference. Do we need a motion for that?
Okay, I'll offer the motion to receive and order filed the public notice that the Public Utilities Commission will be conducting the meeting via teleconference pursuant to the authority of Minnesota statutes 13D.021 due to the circumstances of COVID-19.
I'll second.
Any discussion of the motion? We have one commissioner not present, so we need to take all votes by roll, I believe. Go ahead, call the roll.
Commissioner Finland?
Yes.
Yes.
Commissioner Shaunis?
Yes.
Commissioner Visser?
Yes.
President Heine?
Yes, motion carries. Next is to consider approval of our minutes from November 24th, 2020.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting held November 24th, 2020.
Second.
Any discussion of the motion? Hearing none, we can call the roll.
Commissioner Finland?
Yes.
Hillesheim?
Yes.
Commissioner Shaunis? Yes. Commissioner Visser?
Yes.
President Heine?
Yes. Motion carries. Next, we want to hear from our director with the monthly utilities report.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I just have a couple of points of interest here. One of them is that the 2001 conservation calendar has been finalized, and I believe that is mailed out either today or tomorrow, so everybody should be getting that in their mailbox. Also, the transmission line woodpecker reconstruction. Just want to talk a little bit about that. That project is scheduled to start on January 4th, right after the holidays. We're going to have the first segment that's to be rebuilt is the river crossing, which is behind the wash plant on Front Street. And then in February, the segment along Front Street, including the part going over Highway 15, that will be rebuilt. The whole project is scheduled to be completed by the end of March, and we do have some construction trucks, and I believe the poles are already set here, so that's on schedule to be started right after the holidays. One note, I guess that isn't in here, is just to let you know that we are continuing to work on the cost of service rate study. We're in the final preparation of that. We are looking that there probably will be a potential water and sewer rate increase that probably will be either late 2021 to early 2022. So, but that will be brought before you when it's complete. Presentation will be made. Other than that, if you have any questions.
Don't.
I'll make the motion to receive and order filed the report regarding monthly utility operations.
I'll second.
Any discussion of the motion? Hearing none, we can call the roll.
Commissioner Finland?
Yes.
Commissioner Hillesheim?
Yes.
Commissioner Shaunis?
Yes.
Commissioner Visser?
Yes.
President Heine?
Yes. Motion carries. And next, we want to recognize Mike Hoffman, plant operator at wastewater treatment, in the wastewater department for his, as employee of the month.
Yes, Mike Huffman has started at the New Ulm wastewater treatment plant in November of 2000 as a helper. He worked his way up, holding a Class B wastewater license, and he also holds a Type 4 land application license. Mike has a strong mechanical aptitude, which is very beneficial at the wastewater plant. There are many mechanical components at the plant, and his troubleshooting abilities are valuable. Mike has a team attitude and gets along well with his coworkers. He's got a get-her-done attitude and can always be counted on. So the utility is very lucky to have Mike as an employee. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Mike.
Thank you. I'll offer a motion to recognize Mike Hoffman from the wastewater treatment plant operator B in the wastewater department as Employee of the Month for November 2020.
I'll second.
Any discussion? We can call the roll.
Commissioner Finley,
Yes.
Commissioner Hilleshine,
Yes.
Commissioner Shawnas,
Yes.
Commissioner Visser,
Yes.
President Lang.
Yes. Okay, moving into new business, we are going to recognize Tim Mako's years of service.
Yes, Tim Mako has just recently retired. Tim had served the New Ulm Public Utilities from May 10th of 2015 to December 10th of 2020. And lastly, in the position of the meter collector 1. Prior to this time, he held various part-time positions in the Park and Rec, and from 2012 to 2013, he was a full-time custodian for the Park and Rec Department in 2013 until he transferred to the Public Utilities on May 10th of 2015. So we want to offer Tim Mako congratulations on his retirement.
Yes, congratulations.
I'll offer the resolution and waive the reading commending Tim Mako, metering collector 1 in the PUC Administration Department for over 7 years of service with the City of New Ulm and New Ulm Public Utilities Commission.
I'll second.
Any discussion of the resolution? Please call the roll.
Commissioner Finley,
Yes.
Hilleshine,
Yes.
Commissioner Shawnas,
Yes.
Commissioner Visser,
Yes.
President Lang.
Yes. And we also want to honor Ricky Konakowitz.
Yes, we have a second retirement as well. Rick Konakowitz served with the New Ulm Public Utilities in the gas department from February 1986 to December of 2020. His last position was that of Service Technician 1. Prior to that time, he worked as a seasonal laborer for both the street, electric, and gas departments. So we would like to offer Ricky Konakowitz congratulations on his retirement.
Thank you.
Lots of years of service.
I'll offer the motion, the resolution, and waive the reading commending Ricky Konakowitz, Service Technician 1 in the Gas Department for nearly 35 years of service with the New Ulm Public Utilities Commission.
I'll second.
Any discussion of the resolution? Hearing none, we can call the roll.
Commissioner Finley,
Yes.
Commissioner Hilleshine,
Yes.
Commissioner Shawnas,
Yes.
Commissioner Visser,
Yes.
President Lang.
Yes, resolution passes. Next item on the agenda is to consider adopting the 2021 budget for the New Ulm Public Utilities.
Yes, this is the budget for 2021. There have been no changes from the preliminary 2021 budget that was presented in November of this year. Just to recap, we have operating expenses, or operating income of $44,625,433. We have operating expenses of $43,020,162, which gives us a net operating income of $1,605,271. We then have operating income of $776,876, which brings the net income, or brings the income before non-operating transfers to $2,382,149. We have non-operating transfers of $647,980 with net income of $3,030,129. The projected ending unrestricted cash is $27,816,562. And we have target reserves to our operating expenses of 71%. Our debt service coverage ratio is 5.89. So we ask that you adopt the 2021 budget.
Does anybody have any questions about the budget?
I'll offer the resolution and waive the reading to adopt the 2021 budget for New Ulm Public Utilities.
I'll second.
Any discussion of the resolution? We can call the roll.
Commissioner Finland,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilshire,
Yes.
Commissioner Shaunis,
Yes.
Commissioner Visser,
Yes.
President Heinen.
Yes. The resolution passes. Next, we need to consider a general wage adjustment.
Thank you, President Heine and Commissioners. Shauna Boomgarden, Human Resources Director. We are recommending that all non-unionized part-time and full-time PUC employees receive a 3% increase January 1st, 2021. Those funds were included in the 2021 budget. Also, all City of New Ulm and IBEW employees are also receiving a 3% increase.
Thank you.
I'll offer a motion to approve a general wage adjustment for non-unionized part-time and full-time PUC employees of 3% to be effective January 1st, 2021.
Second.
Any discussion of the motion? We can call the roll.
Commissioner Finland,
Yes.
Wilshire,
Yes.
Commissioner Shaunis,
Yes.
Commissioner Visser,
Yes.
President Heinen.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you. Next, we need to discuss a National League of Cities service line warranty program that could be available to our customers.
Yes, President and Commissioners. Maybe what I'll do is start out, there's a PowerPoint that's attached to your agenda that just kind of lays out a little bit of the program, and then I can get into a little bit more depth, as well as some pros and cons to the program. Minnesota, as well as other states, will start seeing the need for significant infrastructure upgrades in the coming future. Failed lines can waste thousands of gallons of water and also present a environmental hazard. And there's some common homeowner misconceptions that the city is responsible for the maintenance of the water and sewer lines on their property, or that those repairs would be covered by their homeowner's policy, which is not the case. The NLC Service Line Warranty Program is the only program that is endorsed by the National League of Cities, and it is also endorsed by the League of Minnesota Cities Business Leadership Council. There is no cost for the utility to participate. This program would educate homeowners about their lateral line responsibilities, and it's a free public awareness campaign, so they will get out and let people know just what their responsibilities are for their water and steam lateral services. It offers customers offers customers peace of mind. They can make one toll-free call, and to a reputable plumber would be then dispatched, and all the repairs would be performed by local licensed contractors. So this company would go out and do the vetting of our local contractors to make sure that they have the proper insurance and anything else that's required. There is a small ongoing revenue stream for the utilities, which we can talk about a little bit later in the presentation. But what the warranty covers is the homeowner the homeowner repair protection is for leaking, clogged, broken water or sewer lines from the point of the utility connection to the home exterior. So what the coverage includes is it educates the homeowners about what their service line responsibilities is. They get up to $8,500 coverage per repair incident. This includes coverage also for the thawing of frozen external water lines, which is an issue in Minnesota and New Ulm as well. There's no annual or lifetime limit. There's no deductible. There's no service fees, forms, or paperwork. This is available 24/7 for 365 days a year. And again, the repairs are only made by licensed local contractors. And they have very affordable rates and different payment methods which would be made to this particular program. They also have a program which covers their internal plumbing and drainage. So in this particular case, the homeowner would be protected for in-home water supply lines and in-home sewer lines, and all drain lines connected to the main sewer stack that are broken or leaking inside the home. The coverage on this is up to $3,000 coverage per repair incident. It's the repair of clogged toilets, includes coverage for broken or leaking water, sewer, drain lines that are under the slab or the basement floor. Again, there's no annual lifetime limit, no deductible, no service fees, forms, paperwork. Again, the same availability and the repair by local contractors. What I understand is there is a 30-day grace period, so if someone signs up 30 days, after 30 days, they can file a claim with this company. What this is it's a marketing agreement, and so there's no public funds, so there'd be no utility funds that are going to be used in the marketing, distribution, or administration of the program. They market by direct mail, no telemarketing. So there's mailers that will go out throughout the year. They'll never mail anything without the utilities' consent. And so we have the opportunity to take a look at all the mailings. If there's anything we don't like, we can change that. This program is voluntary for the homeowner. And so the way I envision this is this would be a program that would be sent out just saying that it's supported by the New Ulm Public Utilities. Customers can enroll one of three ways. They can call into there's a toll-free number that they can call. They return the letter that gets sent to them, or they can visit the website. So currently, there's more than 750 municipal and utility partnerships right now that are involved in this. And of that, I believe there is, I guess I didn't count them up, but 31. There's 31 current Minnesota partners as well. They're currently serving over 3.4 million customers across the United States. They've saved customers over $394 million in repair costs over the past 3 years, and they have a consistent customer service or customer satisfaction rating of 98%. 9 out of every 10 customers surveyed have recommended the program to their friends, family, and neighbors. And I think there's a list on the next page of the current Minnesota partners that are involved. I did call, I called 5 of the companies that are on this list, and I can talk about that a little bit later too, but in general, the majority of the information from them was favorable.
You said companies, you mean the cities?
Cities, I'm sorry, yes. And so I just kind of want to talk a little bit again about what is offered. So for the coverage, the exterior water service line, what would be covered under this program? It would include the service to locate, evacuate, repair, replace a leaking exterior water service line. And the covered repairs included are not limited to leaks, breaks, corrosion, blockages, root intrusion, and other types of damage such as freezing lines. So in New Ulm, we have several situations where this could be very beneficial for our customers. We have trees that are getting into our water sewer lines. We have water lines that are freezing. So this particular program could be an option if a person isn't running, we typically advise customers to run a small stream of water. If they don't do that, they're frozen, or their lines could freeze if they're one of the people that this happens to. And the sewer line is the same. It's includes but not limited to breaks, leaks, corrosion, blockage due to fats, oils, grease, root intrusion, and other types of damage. I want to talk a little bit about the cost. So the external water, and I want to remind you as well that this is not money that will be collected by the public utilities. This is similar to an insurance program that's out there. It would just be supported by the PUC. But it would all be done through this company. The customers would contact this company, they would pay this company, they would call the company to file a claim, that type of thing. So the external water line, the monthly payment is $5.75. You have unlimited coverage. You can have unlimited calls, and you get $8,500 per call. And the city would get a royalty for that. So there's 50 cents per contract per month. So for example, if you were to go, well, if we can go further, you also have the external sewer line, which is $7.75. Same thing, unlimited coverage, unlimited calls, $8,500 per call, another 50 cents per contract per month. And then there's the in-home plumbing, which is $9.99, unlimited calls. That is $3,000 per call with a 50-cent contract per month. Customers can choose one, or they can choose all three, if they want to. The 50 cents per contract per month. So, for example, if a customer were to choose all three of them, we would get the utility would get $1.50 per month for that customer. And that money is going towards the fact that they're using our, it's a marketing agreement. They're using our logo on some of their brochures to help endorse the program. And what we've talked about doing is taking that 50 cents and actually putting it into a fund where we could actually start to help some of these customers that potentially maybe have long services, or maybe some other ways that we could help them defer some of the costs that they're seeing. Probably should read this. The implementation will utilize the utility logo to brand the materials and use that to educate the New Ulm Public Utility customers about their repair service plan. The program marketing literature clearly discloses that the program and the utility are separate entities, and that the program is voluntary for the residents. The NLC service line warranty program will create all marketing materials with input from the utility, and will submit all marketing communications to the materials to the utility for final approval. So I did call 5 of the cities listed in the PowerPoint, and basically all of the cities had positive things to say about the program, as far as how the program is implemented, whether their customers have been satisfied. The biggest drawback, and I think that was maybe some of the issue that Mr. Borgen had with some of it, was the confusion. They did say there was some confusion to the residents as to whether it was a utility project or a program, or whether it was an external program. And so that, and what they needed to do, what they advised to do, is to really try to educate your employee or your customers before those letters even go out. Communication was the big key. The initial term for this is 3 years, and then it will auto-renew annually unless there's a 90-day termination. And after that, I believe that the citizens could still maintain their line warranty if the utility chose to pull out of it. There was one city, some of them did some things that were different. One of the cities actually had a frequently asked question with regard to this, which it basically laid out the entire program with a lot of questions as to, whose program is this, and then just, whatever a customer may think of, it was on their webpage, and so a utility customer could go and look that up on the webpage. There was one city which actually chose not to take the 50 cents per month. They agreed to allow the utility agreed to allow the company to actually run this brochure through their utility bill stuffer. So it would go out in the utility bills anywhere between 2 and 4 times a year. In exchange for that, the utilities logo was not on the brochure. It was just coming out as a company. I guess people would think that it was endorsed by the city because it was in the utility bill, but they didn't use the utility logo on that. Really, in talking to the cities, you know, that was the biggest complaint. They said they got phone calls. When the letters would go out, they would get some phone calls. So what they did say was that this company was very easy to work with, very accommodating. And so, you know, there may be an opinion where, or there may be an option to maybe do something kind of in between that, where our name is still on there, but it's not our letterhead. You know, maybe it's something where it's, you know, their company and then supported by the New Ulm Public Utilities or something like that. Or you can go the other way where they just market this to our customers. But the one problem I do see is we do see a lot, not a lot, but we see some of these things come out every now and then. There was one with some attic insulation a while back, which really wasn't a good thing for Minnesota. It was really tailored more towards the southern states. It went out as a direct mailing to our customers. We got a lot of calls. We had to tell them, no, we're not supporting this. You shouldn't do that. And so I think there's some confusion that way too, if you just send something out without, you know, communication about the program. I think it is it's a way to potentially help. I think, like I said in my action item, it would be one prong of the fork. There's some other things that we're looking at through the city, but it would be one way to give an option to our customers. You know, if we can work through some of the issues that maybe the assistant city attorney has, you know, I think it would be a good program to.
And Chris, do we know what the average repair is? Not the long, obviously the long service repairs are a lot more, but what the just a standard repair is? Will that 8,500 cover it?
Pretty closely, I think. Water repairs obviously, for some reason, are cheaper than the sewer repairs. And typically they're not as long, I guess, because the water repairs are going to go from the curb stop to the house. And typically the curb stop is in the boulevard, so you're not digging up asphalt and that type of thing. The sewer mains are going from the main, which is in the middle of the road, to the house. So those tend to be a little bit more expensive. I've seen some water, you know, and again, it depends on the length, but it can be anywhere, water can be anywhere from $3,000 to probably $6,000. Sewer probably is closer to 10.
Okay.
So
So it still covers the majority of it.
Yes, yeah. Certainly not on the long sewer services, though.
Right.
Yeah.
So does the remaining amount then, is that settled with NLC or is it settled with the contractor?
It'd be settled with the contractor. Mhm. Yeah, the utility basically has nothing to do with this. I mean, the only thing we're allowing is for them to market this material, and we're just saying that we support it. We don't, you know, if anybody calls here, we'll say, you know, you have to call this number. I'm thinking we can do different things. The city manager wants to start with some radio ads. We can get on the radio, we can talk about this to our customers. We can get this in our newsletter so that they read about it there. We can get it on our webpage. So I think we can try to educate as many people, but we probably are going to get calls. I think that is going to probably happen, but I think that we can deal with that. It's just another option for our customers.
So you're suggesting that the city attorney has a problem with it, so does the city attorney want to let us know what your concerns are? Yeah, I certainly had a question of what kind of potential liability we would face, if any, so.
Well, I noted that the agreement itself wasn't attached. I don't know if that was, if the plan is to enter it into it today, or if the plan was to negotiate with them. I guess I'm not sure.
Well, I think we wanted to negotiate with them. You know, I know that you had some concerns, and we hadn't
Right.
gotten, we hadn't necessarily gotten the agreement updated. So I guess the thought would be is we would, if this is something that you guys want to pursue, we would continue on getting an agreement in order. And there's some paperwork and things that we have to do within the next month.
As Director Manderfeld pointed out, a lot of communities are doing it. Places, I think we can say, such as Rochester, Edina, nationwide, you know, cities as big as, you know, Tucson, Arizona are doing this. A lot of the concerns I had, Ms. Manderfeld spoke to. You know, is there going to be confusion, making sure our role in this is clear? Would like to see us have, you know, as Ms. Manderfeld discussed, remain control over how our marks are being used. It looked like from some of the research I did that there's a lot of different things that this company could be doing. There was also a provision about, and I don't know if you want to speak to it, about the homeowner data that I had a bit of a question about. And
Yeah.
also just, you know, just making sure that, you know, public employees aren't donating tons of time to this. I mean, I think there's going to be some of that. Maybe Director Manifold could speak to that as well, but.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, it's a partnership with a private company, and it's something to be mindful of.
Yeah, I did talk to some of the cities about that. One, you know, and I guess I would refer to the finance director as to what exactly we could divulge. You know, I'm not even sure that we could actually give our customer data out, but it's not necessary to do that. They can actually get the mailing list outside of the utility actually supplying that. And what I did find out is the majority of the cities, that's what they did. They didn't supply the mailing list to this company. They said they weren't going to do that. So the company got it a different way. One of the cities said the issue with that was they had a few of them that were outside of their service territory, and they had to say, well, you know, you're not a utility customer, so this doesn't, you know, but, you know, that was really the only drawback. So I think that they can get the information that they need without us actually giving it to them.
Well, obviously, they want our name on their product, so they're gonna sell it, because they think it's gonna, and we don't want our name on it unless we have confidence that people aren't gonna get ripped off. I mean, everybody's worried about the next scam, so, I mean, that's the first concern.
I think that the fact that the National League of Cities endorses it, as well as the Minnesota League of Cities, puts a little bit of weight behind the program as well.
Sure. I think another concern then, I'm not quite sure if I understand how it exactly works. If you have an emergency, then this group contacts a contractor to take care of it, or they just pay as in an insurance claim? I'm the homeowner, I've got the coverage, I get the repair done, and then I submit a claim. Do you know?
My understanding is if they have a problem with their water, let's say they would have a water main break, they would contact this company.
Mm-hmm.
This company would go out and get one of the local contractors. I did ask, I believe they had the opportunity to pick who they wanted. You know, there's a list of vetted contractors, so they could pick who they wanted.
You mean the customer?
Yes, and then they would dispatch that.
I imagine that would be set out in the policies themselves, which
Yeah.
we didn't really review too much.
But that would also be a concern, is I wouldn't want to support something that winds up not supporting our local economy and making sure our local contractors are, you know, keeping the work. And it sounds like that's part of their.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think it's an afterthought after after they have a break, they'll call somebody, then they'll realize that they had this insurance or coverage for it, so
Sure.
it's, make
Go
sure
ahead,
that's
Kurt.
local.
So, the National Water Line Service actually reaches out to all the local contractors to see if they want to participate in the program. So again, they're not forcing any of the contractors to be part of it, but they will reach out, with city's help or the utilities' help to kind of put lists together, and then it's up to those contractors to be part of it. And what they'll do is they'll just go down the list. If someone doesn't have a preferred contractor, they'll just go down the list so everyone kind of gets a turn to participate in this. But if someone has a particular one that's on the list, then they can request that at that time.
Okay.
So have any of the plumbing contractors in New Ulm, do they know about this?
No, not yet. So NLC, or the Water Line Service, does all of that. Once we agree to move forward with this, that's when they go through the vetting process with the local contractors.
Okay, but shouldn't that be done almost before we
No,
send?
because if we don't do the program, then they're vetting contractors that don't, there's no benefit to the contractors to be part of it. So
Okay,
once
so should the public utilities be contacting them just to make sure that it's something they'd be interested in? Not that we sign up for it and there's no plumber in New Ulm that wants to go along with the program for whatever reason.
we could go that route, but NLC, they have their own vetting process to make sure that the work is going to get done on time, that if someone calls them with a problem, that those contractors are going to be able to respond to that. So that's kind of NLC's process to get their program up and running in the community.
It's similar to an insurance company, kind of, I guess. But I think that, what we have to remember is it's not a utility program. This company could potentially come into New Ulm and do this without the utility even doing anything. And so it would be to the benefit of the contractors to be involved in it because, they have the potential to be the ones that are gonna fix those repairs. I don't know that, as a utility, we really want to go out to our contractors and say, do you want to be involved in this program? Because it's not our program. It's NLC's program. NLC has to work with the contractor to decide what they need to do to form a partnership. So it's their partnership between the two of them. We're just endorsing the program as an option for, you could also do it through homeowners insurance, but what I've been finding is the majority of homeowner insurances don't cover this. And if they do, the coverage is nothing like what this program is. But I think from a utility standpoint, if somebody is, asking whether they should sign up for this, I think the response is going to be, the utility supports this, but you should also check your homeowner's insurance. So, to give people the option and not just, we're not gonna really market this for them. They're gonna market it themselves, so.
Do we know whether contractors are required to agree to any particular pricing arrangement in exchange for being participants?
We didn't discuss that.
Oh, no?
I don't think so, but again, I can't answer. And we can ask them that and get you that information.
Well, going along with that is kind of what I'm
Yeah.
wondering about, if there's a lot of the program, you'd think if all these other towns are doing it, it's not a big deal. But there's programs like this where you take a hit on each job you do.
That is kind of between the contractors and the program, though.
Right.
Again, as Ms. Manifold said, it's not what our role in this would be.
I think you're right. I just, the only interest I would have in that information as a commissioner is, are we then promoting something that is gonna have a negative impact because of the pricing arrangement or whatever? And it may be that it's not something that we should, maybe the answer to the question is that it's not significant enough that it should affect our decision, but I think that's why it's a relevant inquiry. I mean, if it turns out that you have to take such a hit on it that hardly anybody's gonna be interested, but then it creates a big problem with competition.
Right.
I mean, I can't imagine that this is such a large amount of business either. Maybe I'm
I
just
haven't heard
kind of
any
thinking
that
too far.
From any of the cities
Sure.
that there was an issue with the contractors. I'm
Okay.
not saying there wasn't, but, we talked quite, openly about, what the pros and cons of the program. And that was never brought up, but, we certainly can, I can ask the representative, what their, how they go about that and
Yeah.
if there is a discount that's expected or.
Well, I'm sure there's a benefit too. I mean, if I'm a contractor and I get called on emergency, I'm sure there's occasionally a receivable problem there when you're not sure if the homeowner's going to be able to afford it and they've got insurance. That's,
Right.
that's a big plus. So I don't know. And did you say we would have a 3-year commitment and then after that it's 90 days notice to get out if we
Yes.
find that it's?
Yep.
Yeah.
And again, the warranty part doesn't go away for the homeowner because, it's not our program. And so, there's not the risk that we'll do it for 3 years and we get too many calls and we say, oh, we don't want to do it anymore, that homeowners suddenly are out their insurance. Or warranty, I guess I should say.
Right.
That stays with the homeowner.
Yep. It's really just an endorsement that we're agreeing to be
It's a
willing to
marketing
share.
agreement
Yeah.
is what we're doing, basically.
Yeah.
We're agreeing to allow to use our name to support this program.
How long has this program been in operation?
I did not ask that, but I do know.
It's been a while.
When I talked to one of the cities, he had come from Colorado, and they had the same program in Colorado, and I believe that was back in 2014. So I think it's been around for a while. We could certainly ask that if you're interested in knowing. I don't think it says it in any of the.
Yeah, I was looking. I was just seeing how well established it was, and
Yeah.
I mean, they've got a list of quite a few cities within Minnesota already.
So are we going to know how many people from New Ulm actually sign up if we agree to the agreement? Or is that, you're totally out of it?
I think we could, we're gonna know by.
50 cents a month per contract,
Yeah,
so.
by the amount of money
Yeah,
we're
right,
collecting.
right, that would be interesting to
The
know.
one city that did not allow them to use their name and didn't collect the money, they didn't know how many people
Yeah.
had signed up because there was no agreement to, But she did say I probably could call them and they would tell me. Apparently, everything that I heard was they were very easy to work with, so.
Okay.
Service line warranties has been around since 2003.
Oh, okay.
So do we,
Checks out.
do we want to take action on this tonight or ask that the staff bring back more information? What would you?
I don't know, I'm comfortable I'll offer the motion to approve.
Yeah,
Sean, did you have
Oh,
something to
I'm
say?
like, who talked?
yeah. I was just gonna say, I'm comfortable as well. Just the only thing with us not having the contract, and it doesn't sound like the assistant city attorney has reviewed it yet in its entirety. That maybe we shouldn't necessarily approve entering into the royalty agreement, but tailor that proposed action a little bit to approve the city manager to negotiate a royalty marketing agreement with, or something like to that
Do you want to
nature.
just make the motion then?
Yeah. I'll make a motion to approve the city manager negotiating a royalty marketing agreement with Utility Service Partners Incorporated, USP, endorsed by the National League of Cities to educate property owners about their service line responsibilities and to help residents avoid the out-of-pocket expense for unanticipated and potentially costly service line repairs and replacements.
I'll second.
I should clarify, we have reviewed the agreement, but we haven't done much negotiating, so I think I would support that motion.
Okay. Any other discussion on the motion? Oh, I think that,
I
yeah.
second.
Did you get it? Okay. No discussion on the motion. We can go ahead and call the roll.
Commissioner Fingland,
Yes.
Commissioner Hilleshine,
Yes.
Commissioner Shaunis,
Yes.
Commissioner Visser,
Yes.
President Heine.
Yes. Motion carries. Next is to review the bid for the 20th Street South Lift Station improvements replacement.
Good afternoon. This is the bids for the project that we brought to you in September, I believe, the engineering agreement. It's to replace our 45-year-old pumps both at the 20th Street lift station and for our thickened sludge pumps and primary sludge pumps, along with a diffuser project. We had 7 contractors, prime contractors, go through the tour early in December, and we received 9 bids on the 15th of December. Attached is the letter of recommendation from Bolton and Mink to accept the bid from Minnesota Mechanical Solutions in the amount of $1,628,870. This project is kind of 4 projects kind of put together. So we are at this time considering bidding the project rather than paying cash as we had previously planned, because we've got some pretty good bidding rates, or bonding
Bonding.
rates, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
that we've been hearing about. So if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them.
My question is mostly around what we've previously budgeted between 20 and our just recently approved 2021 budget and how that captures the 1.6 million. Chris, can you respond to that, or if Beth is in the room?
Yes, when we're putting the budget together, that typically is done, at times 9 to 12 months prior to when we actually go out and get an engineer's estimate. So, when we're putting the budget together, we don't have the engineer's estimate. So I was actually, happy that the bids actually came below the engineer's estimate, so. But yeah, there is about $400,000, $300,000 difference between the estimated project and the actual bidded project.
Okay, so I am reading that correctly.
You are
So
reading that correctly.
we had
just
200.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say we have essentially 300,000 in 2020 plus $1 million that we shifted between 2020 to 2021. That total 1.3 and the project is 1.6.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. I was just looking for that clarification because that was a little unclear.
Yes, and I just want to make note too, we decided, at one point, we thought about paying for these projects through the EPA's restricted cash that we have because they would qualify for that. However, in what the city received for bonding rates, we decided that we would look at bonding the project. And as it turns out, we're able to actually do a refunding on an electric bond to bring the interest rates down for that. So it all just kind of worked together to have a nice package for looking at bonding, I believe, early March, April. Yeah, so we'll go out for bonding at that point.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to authorize the city manager to accept the bid from Minnesota Mechanical Solutions Incorporated for the goods and services specified in the bid package for the 20th Street South Lift Station and Wastewater Treatment Plant Pump Replacement Project in the amount of $1,628,870.
I'll second.
Any discussion of the motion? If not, we can call the roll.
Commissioner Fingland,
Yes.
Commissioner Hilleshine,
Yes.
Commissioner Shaunis,
Yes.
Commissioner Visser,
Yes.
President Heine.
Yes, motion carries. Next, we are requested to declare obsolete some gas department equipment.
Yes, this is Just kind of housekeeping, we're looking at declaring 6 tires, 1 truck topper, and 6 gas regulators as surplus property. We no longer use these items. The estimated value is on the action item. We're looking at selling these online through GovDeals auction website.
I'll offer the motion to declare obsolete miscellaneous equipment in the gas department as surplus property and authorize disposition pursuant to the requirements of the city code and charter.
Second.
Any discussion? You can call the roll.
Commissioner Finland,
Yes.
Hillesheim,
Yes.
Commissioner Shaunis,
Yes.
Commissioner Visser,
Yes.
President Heine.
Yes, motion carries. And then finally, we have our claims and estimates for the month.
I'll make the motion to consider acceptance of listed claims paid in the amount of $3,924,512.21.
I'll second.
Any discussion of that motion? You can call the roll.
Commissioner Finland,
Yes.
Commissioner Hillesheim,
Yes.
Commissioner Shaunis,
Yes.
Commissioner Visser,
Yes.
President Heine.
Yes, motion carries. That's all we have on the agenda. I want to thank Tom Borgen, who's with us, I think, for the last time, serving in the city attorney's office.
Yes, thank you, President Heine. It has been an honor to serve in this position, and I wish everyone the best in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have some comments?
Just
City
one.
manager? Okay.
The mayor couldn't make it tonight, but just wanted to wish everyone happy holidays and a Merry Christmas. And he wanted to make sure that all the commissioners got that message.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, we are adjourned.